Alrighty, attention in the pits. All racers, report to the staging lanes. The show is about to start.
And then your eyesight may get worse.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
Been a minute or two since we've been on here.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. So we've been, it's been what, probably 2 weeks?
12/17 was the last time we were on.
Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully you guys missed us.
A little bit over 2 weeks.
And tonight, what we're going to do is we are going to go over engine blocks. And a lot of guys call me up and they want to get an engine built and they want to know if they should buy an aftermarket block or not. And so it all depends, you know. One thing, if it's in your budget, aftermarket engine blocks are not cheap. So by the time you purchase the block and you do the prep work to it and the machining that that doesn't, get done whenever they're manufacturing the block, it's very expensive to buy an aftermarket block. And then some of the other things too. There's features of that aftermarket block that require different parts. So, it might take a different freeze plug, and of course you can buy the freeze plug kits, and I think all Pontiac does provide the freeze plug kit, and maybe Kaufman does too. I'm not sure, but anyways, like the Dart blocks, if you're doing a Chevy engine, they don't come with freeze plug kits. You got to buy them separate. But first of all, what kind of engine blocks are available? So you got the factory block, you have cast iron aftermarket blocks, and you have aluminum aftermarket blocks, and you have billet aluminum aftermarket blocks, and you have water jacketed aftermarket blocks, and you have non-water jacketed. So again, it all depends on your situation, what you're going to do with it. What kind of horsepower you want to make with it. What is the reason you want to use an aftermarket block? The factory blocks, the Pontiac factory blocks anyway, I mean, we've pushed them things beyond 1,000 horsepower. A lot of people, I see it online all the time saying, you can't make more than 700 horsepower with a factory block. No, that's not true, especially if you're running a turbo. And turbos are, they come on so gradually that they don't really stress the block that much. And typically what stresses a block is detonation or over revving them, if you rev them too hard, or if you have a, severe rod angle or something like that. So it's not like you need an aftermarket block except for if you wanted to have a bigger bore. The lifter bore situation in a Pontiac block kind of sucks because they don't have all the support in the lifter area like the Chevys do. So, there's an advantage to an aftermarket block there for a Pontiac for sure. And then the factory Pontiac blocks, you can't bore them past, typically the biggest bore that we've been able to do and get away with and feel comfortable is a 4 1/4 inch bore. Where with an aftermarket block, you can take it out to 4.36 or even 4.400. What's that?
Who's that? Is that a new
Elk
viewer?
Slayer?
Elk Slayer, I don't know.
Is that a new viewer on there?
Yeah, we got a new viewer.
Yep. And he's saying you're full of shit.
Yeah, apparently.
That might be my son.
Good, great.
So don't mind him.
Don't pay no attention to him.
State your name, Elk Slayer. I don't think it is, but that.
That's funny. Yeah. Well, you guys can see, I can't. So, who all's on here tonight?
Got Tim Korsiak.
Awesome.
He said Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Great holiday. GTO, 495 GTO, and Pontiac John.
And Jeff Downey, it looks like.
NHR Bandit.
Tom Bop.
Korsiak's on.
Yep. Cool.
And Manda Long.
And Elk Slayer. I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Please state your full name.
I wonder if he's from Canada.
Yeah, he might be.
That's a new one.
Might be. I don't know. We haven't seen him here before.
208. Is that a area code?
I don't know, maybe.
That's what I said, Mandy. I said it might be our kid. He's just not Anthony.
We don't have Philip the Third though. Where's he at? And John Dornbush.
He may not.
Oh, that's right. He was doing something. I don't remember what it was.
Yep. He said he was going to check out some ladies on the beach or something.
Yeah. He found him another lady friend. Good for him. You know what? Him going to the distillery and drinking whiskey, apparently he's
It's paying off.
yeah.
It's killing his liver, but
Right?
We got Eric Chambers and Andy Rankin.
Good evening.
no, you got to say Andy Rankin.
Old school's on there.
Yep.
So,
Oh, there's a Jamie just come on.
Hi, Jamie.
But
Pontiac John is John Dornbush.
oh, okay. I
what I thought.
didn't know what his handle was. I'm glad you told me that. Cool.
Well, he told us that.
Yeah, he
I
told
just
you
read
that.
what he told us.
Well, welcome back, all you guys. So I don't know. You know what? I keep still getting phone calls to this day. I've been in business 45 years, and
And half that he acted like he knew what he was doing.
well, hopefully
He didn't start
most of
learning.
it.
He didn't start learning until about 30.
Yeah, it's working, right?
Whatever he's doing it right.
But so, anyways, I get phone calls every day. People don't realize that I designed the IA2 block, and I designed the Tiger Head, and so I'm not sure how that got lost through history, but you know, the block I did back in the late '80s, and John Dornbush and some of these guys may have the old high performance Pontiac magazines, and if you look in the back. And some of those issues, I put ads in the back, and there used to be classifieds in the back of those magazines. And I put an ad in there, I don't know, it's probably late 80s, early 90s. And what I did was when I got the blueprints all done for the block, I was looking for investors. Because at that time, I was broke and broke. So, and broken.
Yeah, he was drinking beer. It said beer on the can at that
I
time.
literally drank beer. Yeah, it said beer.
And I'm pretty sure he wrote that in Sharpie.
That's how broke I was.
It wasn't even the Simpsons stuff. It was beer.
It was just beer. If you go to the grocery store in the generic aisle, they used to have a generic aisle. Remember that?
Yeah.
Everything was white label, and they had
can.
and it said beer. I
Yep.
said, okay, I'll try it. And I actually got hooked on it.
Ugh.
It was as bad as Weiderman's if you guys ever drink that. But anyway,
Ugh.
so, but I used to put ads in the back of the Pontiac magazine, and one of them was to generate interest in a new engine block for Pontiacs. And Arnie Beswick had actually reached out to me when I put that in there, and a couple other of the Pontiac racers, and they were all very interested, but they didn't have any money to help invest. And so anyhow, I ended up, a guy did reach out to me and wanted to invest in doing the engine block. And unfortunately, I was young, dumb, naive, and I believed in a handshake and no contract. And I handed over all my blueprints and list of ideas of improvements on the block. And that person took that and lost my phone number and cut me out of the deal. So I was not real happy about that. So I think that that's probably why a lot of people don't know that I designed that block. And then the Tiger Heads I did, and I sold that idea in 2003. And so, arguably, and I am biased because I designed these products, but I think that the IA block and the Tiger Head are the two best things that could have happened to Pontiacs. Until we had those two products, we couldn't build any horsepower. And the reason I did that was because we couldn't build any horsepower because we didn't have, we couldn't bore the blocks big enough, and the lifter bores were breaking on some of them. Back then I didn't know why. Now I know why the lifter bores break. But and we didn't have any cylinder heads that were worth a darn. There was a guy named Larry Winsler, and I still think he makes heads. I'm not sure, but he came out with an aluminum head. But you know what? He wasn't an airflow guy. He just came up with an aluminum head for Pontiacs, and guys ran with it because you had a platform finally to work with. And then I came out with that Tiger head, and then like I said, arguably the for a traditional style Pontiac inline valve, takes a factory valve cover cylinder head. You cannot beat the Tiger head. That is in my opinion, the best cylinder head on the planet for a Pontiac engine. And we got guys out there running. There's a guy named John Snyder. It's got a 65 GTO. He runs in a DOT. I think it's a 10-inch wide or maybe a 9.5-inch wide DOT class. And the car, I believe, at race weight was right around 3,300 pounds and runs 760s at almost 180 mile an hour, normally aspirated with a Tiger head. So, that's hard to do with a big Chevy or big Ford, let alone a Pontiac engine.
So you're saying that head's better than the Ram Air 5 head that you made?
No, the Ram Air 5.
Oh, no, so you got to watch what you say on the interwebs nowadays.
Yeah. Don't take that wrong. That was the best at the time.
At the time that we've had.
Now.
And now I believe that the 5 head is actually better, but we haven't gotten any big hitters yet to step up to the plate and develop that product to the level that it can be developed at. And, everybody says, why don't you build an engine? Why don't you do it? Well, the problem is I'm investing in new heads, new products. Not the other part of the problem is I don't have time. I, honest to God, do not have time, guys. I mean, I am a busy guy. And whenever you're running a business, a small business, and technically you're self-employed, you're not technically a business. I mean, I do have 2 employees, but technically I'm self-employed. And when you're self-employed, you're the janitor, you're the bookkeeper, you're the mechanic, you're the parts runner, you're the PR guy, you're the receptionist, you're the secretary, you're the tax accountant, you do it all.
You hear that, Luke? And what's the girl who works for you?
Peyton.
Peyton? You guys are just window lickers.
I did not say that. But the thing of it is whenever it's a mom and pop business, you do a lot yourself. You don't have time or you don't have the money to pay other people to do what you have to do. So, everybody thinks that money grows on trees, and you hear that all the time. I want one of them money trees. If somebody's got one, send me one so I can plant it this year, please.
Yeah, so take plenty of them down. They don't not grow no money. I would definitely keep it and say I'll trim it for free.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure. But they don't make that money tree. But yeah, I would love nothing more than to build a Ram Air 5 engine and make it a max effort deal. But it takes a lot of money and it takes a lot of time, and I don't have either. So
Seems a lot of people have a lot of the magazines still.
Well, do they? Good.
So, and then,
yeah. So maybe some of it, what was cool? I don't know if it was John Dornbush or somebody sent me, maybe it was Walt, sent me my ad out of the old High Performance Pontiac magazine, because I used to put an ad in there, a full-page ad, and I ran that for a few years too. And that was back I had to be in the 80s or 90s. I quit doing that, though, because all I did was talk on the phone all day. And that thing about, you're the receptionist and the PR guy and the mechanic and the janitor and everything. Well, when you talk all day on the phone, guess what? You work all night. And literally, you work all night.
There's Philip.
Oh, hey, Philip made it.
Philip made it? That deserves an applause.
Phil, we were just talking about you. And it's funny you show up right when we're talking about money.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. So anyhow, my son was saying, we need a Philip the Third, but he needs to be rich.
Yep. Filthy rich.
Because Philip and John Dornbush are crazy enough to invest, they just don't have the money.
Let's see.
Philip said thank you. But yeah. So anyways, back to the block deal. The big advantage to an aftermarket block for Pontiac is that we can get the bore out to a 4.350 or bigger. You can go as big as a 4.420 and have 200 between the cylinders. Pontiac cylinder bore spacing is 4.620. And you only need about 200 thousandths material between the bores to seal a head gasket up. So you can go for 400, but then you used up the block, and if you break it, then you have to sleeve it. But so that was one of the big features of the aftermarket block when I designed it. It had to be able to accept a big bore because we were limited with a factory block. And the other big thing was the lifter area. Because like I said, back in the 80s and 90s, we had guys busting lifter bores and with the factory blocks. And I didn't know what it was at the time. I just thought it was because the block was weak, and it's not because the block is weak. What it was from is that nobody at that time made what was like a traditional Pontiac lifter. And so because they didn't have a dedicated Pontiac lifter body, the oil band in the lifter would come down below the lifter bore, all right? And when it did, and it got pushed back up, that would get pushed sideways, and it would catch on the edge of that lifter bore, and it'd just bust the lifter bore off. And so even if you put a lifter bore brace on it, that is not gonna stop it from happening, because believe me, we did it, and it still broke. So, I see guys all the time then they're still in that mindset from back in the 80s and 90s that you need a lifter bore brace or you're going to bust lifter bores. Well, guess what? I got a block sitting in my shop right now with a lifter bore brace in with a broken lifter bore, and it didn't help. So, and it was because they had the wrong lifter in it. And so that's one of the things that we check if you use a real small base circle cam, or you use a Chevy body lifter in a Pontiac engine block, the oil band will come down below the lifter bore, catch a lifter bore, and rip it right off the block.
So what you're saying is use a high lift cam.
Nope, that's going to make it worse because that reduces the base circle on the camshaft.
Use a bigger cam with a high lift.
Well, what you
that way that will never come down.
Yeah. Well, you need a bigger lobe. The Pontiac factory camshafts, if you look at them, the base circle was big on those things, and so whenever you got the aftermarket cams, the base circles got smaller on them, and because of that, then the lifter came down further in the lifter bore. And, and all these guys, you would think that somebody else would have seen that through the years, but before I seen it and try to fix it. But anyway, that's what happened. And that's why lifter bores get ripped off of Pontiac blocks. Otherwise, I'm not afraid to run 800 inches of lift in a factory block. It doesn't bother me a bit. I've done it for years. I drove on the street with them. That Grand Prix that I used to street race all the time, that thing had 800 inch lift, and I drove that car to the track.
Yeah.
Never had a problem with it. Never.
Got in Plaza and did burnouts.
Yep. I drove that car everywhere. So it's not a block strength problem. It is a lifter coming out of the lifter bore problem. And the other thing that we found too is that if you don't run enough spring pressure with a solid roller cam and that lifter bounces, and if that lifter's off the cam lobe, when that lobe's coming back around and it collides, guess what happens? That'll bust a lifter bore off. So you have to have enough spring pressure, and you got to have the right lifter. So those are things I learned through the years, and I pass that wisdom on to my customers as we build their engines. But so those are two most important things. The lifter bore. Now, what I did with the block whenever I designed a block, I actually made the lifter bores longer, deeper, so they went down further, so you could run a Chevy lifter in the aftermarket block. The coffin block does not have that. When they did their block, they pretty much copied the IA block, but they didn't catch that little bit that I added on the bottom of the lifter bores. And their block, if you want to run theirs, you have with a Chevy style lifter, you got to bush the lifter bores so that you have enough material down below the lifter bore to catch the lifter. So that, and then the other thing was too, I made the bulkheads a little thicker in that block. I actually did a tall deck with a raised cam block. That probably wasn't the best idea with the cylinder heads we had available because it changed the push rod angle so much. From raising the cam up, it would make the push rods more of an angle. And because of that, you had to really hog out the cylinder head, and it got real thin on the intake face, and so it would barely seal up. So we had problems with that. And so with the standard cam location, you can do a tall deck, just do a standard cam location, not a raised. And the reason I did the raised, really you didn't need to, honestly, with a Pontiac engine. You can run a 5-inch stroke in a Pontiac engine. With factory block, you can run a 5-inch stroke. You got to clear some handrails, but it'll clear the cam. It's not a cam problem, it's a pan rail problem. And Pontiacs have wide pan rails too. So that isn't a big issue either. It's the other part is the bottom of the cylinder bore. You had to clearance those too. So there's a lot of little things I learned whenever I designed that block. And then, you know, the Tiger heads, you know, those, you know, when I first came out with those, you guys don't know, I was berated. I would take those to a Pontiac race and show these Pontiac guys, and because they were so hooked on the fact that Pontiac engines are torque engines, which they are, don't get me wrong. And the reason they're torque engines is because you're a big block with a small block head on them. And when you got a little bitty port and a long arm or a big cubic inch engine, guess what? They're going to be torquey as hell because you're not getting enough air into them. And that's hence the reason why they, you know, Pontiac engines are not known for RPMs. When I came out of that Tiger head, the first guy that bought a set of those and he put them on the dyno, the thing went to 7,400 RPM. And, well, first he didn't take it to 7,400 RPM. He would only rev it up to about 6,200 RPM like everybody else. And it still made decent power. Yeah. They didn't have my son at the throttle.
He didn't do any magic tricks, did he?
Yeah.
Brandon did.
Yeah. Well, that guy was afraid of that magic trick, so he didn't want to let everything escape out of the bottom.
He was keeping his money in his pocket.
But you know what? In his defense, because of the factory heads, they wouldn't rev that high. So, you know, even the Edelbrock heads wouldn't go to 7,500. So now with the Tiger head and the Ram Air 5 heads, you know, I tell guys still to this day what the Ram Air 5 heads rev to, and they can't believe it. They're scared to death to rev it there. And it is hard after you've been trained for many, many years with a Pontiac engine, knowing what'll happen if you rev them past 6,000 RPM. You know, they will come apart on you, and you know, I don't blame the guys for not wanting to rev them. But once you get used to it, then you're in love. And then you can't help it. It's like that girlfriend when you get your first date. Mm-hmm. You want more of it.
I was scared of my first date.
Well, you were in kindergarten.
Well, yeah. That's why I was scared.
And wasn't she the lion tamer, and you were the daredevil? You jumped over the fire.
No, she was a dancer.
Oh, I thought she.
Oh,
she was a tightrope girl. That's what it was.
Tightrope dancer.
Yeah.
I thought she was a lion
Kind of like
tamer.
a belly dancer, but nude.
I don't know if you guys heard that or not. So
She calls me her little Dumas. I don't know what it stands for, but
yeah. So the Walt was asking about the pushrod length. So with a tall deck, yeah, you got a pushrod length issue too, especially with my Tiger head or the Ram Air 5 head. Those are tall heads, and the pushrods are already getting longer on a standard deck engine.
yeah, but I like those push rods that you have that have they're adjustable. And that you can unscrew them to make them longer. I just buy a set of those guys.
Yeah. He's talking about the checker push rods, what you use to check the piston and valve clearance and find out your geometry.
No.
And they got a little spindly 1/4-inch screw in there that the tip's adjustable up and down, so you can get the exact right length you need for your valve train. That's all they're for. And you use a real light spring on those.
I thought you buy a whole set.
Yeah, nope.
That way you don't have to worry about buying push rods ever again.
One will work.
You know something, this is off topic a little bit, and maybe we can find some pictures of this later or whatever, but Isky and Crane had a really cool idea back in the 60s, and you don't see it so much anymore because the valve spring technology has gotten so much better, but they had what was called a rev kit, and basically what it was is it had a little valve, I call it a valve spring, but it's not a valve spring, a little coil spring that sat on top of the lifter, and then when you bolted the heads on, there was a plate underneath there, and this spring pushed down on the lifter and kept the lifter in contact with the roller cam, and they called it a rev kit. So because our valve springs back in the 60s and 70s sucked. But now we got killer valve springs, and you know, you can have 1,000 pounds of seat pressure if you want now. But anyhow, that was off a little topic, thinking about that with the push rod thing that Walt was talking about. And the reason that made me think about that is because Crane and some of the other lifters like Morel, they make a 300 thousandths taller lifter, so you can shorten your push rod up by 300 thousandths, which with like the Tiger heads and my Ram Air 5 heads, that's a great idea.
Brandon, are you selling the shirts now?
Oh.
Are you making them and selling them for you, Doug?
I don't know. I don't know what they're. I haven't talked to them about it.
Hey, woman, put the website down. Put the website down for buying shirts.
We did have one question about blocks from Eric. What is your date? Do you have a date or some type of timeline for your blocks?
For the new block, yes. I want to get my new cylinder heads done first, guys. I would love to start a new block project, but the problem is I'm already at the end of my rope with the Ram Air 3 and Ram Air 4 cylinder heads I'm making right now, and I don't want any more on my plate. It just isn't. It's not worth it to me, and I'm trying to get these new cylinder heads done. I'm going to have to. If I can't get things done, I'm going to maybe have to take a different direction with what I'm getting done now, because I got to get them done. I'm out of time, and I don't want to wait anymore. So until I get those projects or get those two heads done and that project wrapped up, and get that to market and get it smooth so everything's working the way it's supposed to work, and I don't have to put fires out every day with that, then I will do the new engine block. So I don't really honestly have a date right now. I've been working with my CAD guy, and we got a lot of the drawings are done. But there are so many, my new block, the improvements that I'm going to make to this new block are going to be off the wall. So this are off the chart. We're going to have, it's going to be a killer piece, but it's going to take a lot of my effort. And right now, until I get these other projects completed, I got 2 intakes and 2 new heads I want to get done first. My son's working on the one intake, and the company that's working on the heads is working on the other intake. And it just, I get it all the time when guys will call me up and they'll say, "Is my engine done? My engine done?" And it's been 6 months. I said, you know what? I wish I was only waiting 6 months to get my projects done, because that would be a dream come true for me. Unfortunately for me, it's been 6 or 7 years. So, and I've had a lot of patience, but I'm running out fast. I'm not getting any younger. I'm 64 now. I want to get it done before I retire. I was going to say before I die, but I better get it done before I die. Although you never know. We just had a good friend of ours pass away. As a matter of fact, calling hours tonight for him. Same age as I am. So you never know.
Where's the website at, woman?
We got Monkey. How often do you use short timing sets to make up for line boring?
You know what? I don't have to very often, because if you do the line bore correctly, and the key is line bore, not line hone. If you line hone, it takes more material. It takes equal material out of the block and the cap. If you line bore and you set your line bore up properly, you can take most of it out of the cap when you recondition the block. And and I usually do line bores, not line hones. The only time we do a line hone is whenever we're touching a block up. But like if we're putting caps on, or we got a block that's just way out to lunch, and we've had a few of those this year, we do line bores on them.
All the questions. You did have a comment. I see closed cells. 05.
Yeah, they do sell shorter chains, and so if you need one, they're out there. I think I've seen 5, 10, and 15 even. But we very seldom do that. I mean, like I said, the only time we hone a block or line hone a block is whenever it just needs opened up just a little bit for bearing clearance or something. But typically we don't do line hones, we do line bore.
We just answered that. What's going on with the new block?
Yep.
Or a new head project. So
Yep, the new heads. I'm hoping that that I can get that project moving here in the next couple of weeks again. I realized we just went through the holidays and we were down for 2 or 3 weeks, but I got to get that project done. I keep saying that, and it's driving me crazy. I don't even like talking about it anymore because it drives me nuts. Believe me, I want those heads done more than you guys do. I got a lot of money tied up in that project, and it's been a long, long time.
no, it didn't help with the fire. So
No.
that put a damper on a lot of things.
Yeah, and this year was kind of bad. Well, 25 was a really kind of bad year for me. I mean, between the fire and so all the things that happened to me this year, there's other things that happened too, but we had a pretty bad year this year. So it's amazing that I was able to survive that, but it is what it is.
I think we answered most of them.
We don't have viewer rides page anymore, do we? Or
No, we do.
Do you still got that? Yeah. So while he's looking that up, what I was going to tell you guys is, you know, you can. So if another question I get too is, should I buy a iron block or an aluminum block? Well, an aluminum block is when you first build that engine and until it goes through a couple of heat cycles and gets reconditioned a couple of times, an aluminum block does not make as much horsepower as an iron block. Now it is lighter, so you got to weigh that. You know, you're talking probably about 120 pound difference in weight, which is roughly, I don't know, maybe 15 horsepower is what it would take to overcome that extra 100 pounds of weight. Is it worth it to you to reduce the weight? Now, so some situations you might need aluminum block in the car because if it's a road race car or something where it's got a lot of heavy or a lot of weight on the nose of the car and you want to try to get the weight bias to the rear of the car, then aluminum block makes a lot of sense. But other than that, the iron blocks, though, the aftermarket iron block is very heavy. So it's probably 70 pounds heavier than a factory iron block. So you're adding a lot of weight to the car, but it's going to make more horsepower. So, you know, it's a trade-off. It's one of them things that you guys have to make that call on your own. I can't tell you what to do. All I can tell you is the benefits and the detriments to it. But the good news about aluminum block, after it's been through a couple of seasons of use and the thing settles down and isn't moving around anymore, and we use a little bit of hard block in them in the bottom to keep the heat in the cylinder, they end up making almost as much horsepower as an iron block, but it takes a few seasons to get there. So aluminum is a good way to go if you need to take weight off the front of the car. Just have to have some patience because it isn't going to make the same horsepower on the first build when you put the thing together the first time. And then, of course, you got billet blocks. And billet blocks, you know, a lot of guys say, well, I need a billet block because, you know, the cast blocks will break. Well, the cast block, if you, with the ones that all Pontiac are making now, they're pretty good. They've been thickened up in the areas that cracked. And so if you get those compacted, or there's a process that they put it through, it's basically a heat treat process in a vacuum chamber, and it squishes all the molecules together is the best way for me to describe it. But if you get that done, then the cast blocks, they'll take a lot of abuse. I mean, anything's going to break if you're going to make 2,000 or 2,500 or 3,000 horsepower. I don't care what you build. And it doesn't matter if it's a Chevy, Ford, Chrysler, Pinto, I don't care. I don't care what it is. It's going to break. So And you just have to know that going in. And if you can't stomach it, don't build it because it's going to break. It's not if, it's when. And I tell my guys that all the time too. You know what? If you can't stomach it, it's not my fault if it breaks. Don't come to me when it breaks because I told you these engines break. They're hand grenades. You pull the pin and once you let go of that clip, you don't know when it's going to go.
All right, we got
a new viewer. He just stumbled upon the page. So
Oh,
hello.
good. Fantastic. Welcome.
I kind of gave him a little info. I said you stumbled on DCI Motorsports and Pontiac everything.
Yeah. If you're into Pontiacs, welcome because that's what we talk about. But we do a little bit of everything. I got some Mopars in the shop. We got we do Fords. I just talking to a customer today. I don't know if he's watching tonight. George Sunday. He's got a couple buddies I built a couple of Fords for, and so we do a little bit of everything. But we like Pontiacs, and that's what we specialize in.
we ready to do watchers rides?
Let's do it.
We're gonna do some watcher rides. So
As long as Philip doesn't curse us again.
All right. So here we go. Philip the Third. I muted it, so
Okay, good, because every time he shares one with us, we get
got
demonetized.
craziest car wheelie ever.
Well.
That's pretty crazy. The wheels off the ground several times.
Yep.
Ooh.
They wheelied up on the wall.
Yep.
There, that's what you're looking at. There.
Airplane.
Look at the airplane.
He was trying
There's
to be an
people.
airplane and
Well, now he's trying to go out in the parking lot and park it.
oh, he made some damage.
And look, he's
there.
going to drive it back over the top of the wall.
Yeah. You know, that's crazy for a trophy. That's what them guys do that for.
Dear Brandon, this is why sometimes you just got to lift.
Why you
Directly towards you.
Right? What are you trying to say, Philip? But there's nothing there, so joke's on him. Huh? All right. Let me let this load up here for a second. I can mute it.
Monkey has another question. And can you add hard block to a street driven car?
Absolutely. We do it all the time, and I recommend it, actually. So a lot of guys think that when you add hard block, it makes the engine want to overheat. It does total opposite, actually. And but it will make the oil run hotter. So you have to, if you hard block your engine, you want to run an oil cooler because it does make the engine oil run hotter because you don't have that coolant at the bottom of the block taking the heat away from the oil. So you definitely will see that happen, and how you'll know that's happening is your oil pressure will drop. And I don't know if Joe Bass is watching tonight, but we just experienced that with his engine. And Joe at first didn't really know what it was. He kind of suspected it, but he called me and asked me if he should be concerned about the bearings in the engine with pressure dropping. I said, well, tell me what's going on. And then we concluded that no, what it is because we put a little bit of hard block in the bottom of his block. The oil is just heating up and making it thin out too much, and then the oil pressure would drop. So I don't know if he put an oil cooler on it or not, but he did put Lucas Stable in it, engine oil stabilizer, and that took care of the problem.
All right, here's Philip the Third's 1966 Pontiac Le Mans.
Is he at a car show, or did he buy that?
I don't know. He just shared it.
Oh.
It's got 400.
Looks like it's got the old Torquer intake. I can't tell. Might be a Victor. I don't know. I can't. Not looking at it. They're zooming in and out too fast. I can't tell. That looks like an old school build.
All original, the guy said.
Yeah. Original with an aftermarket intake. Yep. I like it.
Originally built back in 1980.
Yeah, right? It's an original high school car. Needs a fan shroud on that thing.
Power steerings, power brakes. It's even got sparkulator plugs. Only 2 on this side, though. Let's see here. Oh, Perphanopsis is his Sonoma project.
Ooh.
Here's some updated pictures.
Oh yeah, he said he's gonna send them as he advanced.
Oh, there it is, stripped down, getting ready for the new implant. Ooh, did some nice work on the cross member, rack and pinion steering.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if we did that to the race car, we would get.
Yeah, then you get that connecting rod out of there.
Yeah,
we get our rod back.
we just got to cut the front end out.
Right.
Nice.
And we can do that.
Oh yeah, that I like that.
Might give us a little bit more oil pan, and easy in and out.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Oh man, she gutted.
Coming too.
Gonna be a race truck.
Look at that. It's already glowing red and it's not even running yet.
Right?
She's fast.
Yeah. Doesn't even have valves in the heads, it didn't look like.
Right? Very nice.
All right. Mocking everything.
That is a wild looking header, man. I like it.
So there's his build. And there's
I want to
more.
know how much that's going to weigh after that's done.
That S10?
Yeah.
2,800 pounds.
That's going to be pretty light.
Yeah. Well, it might be heavier than you think because he's putting a Pontiac V8, looks like, in it. So it might weigh about right around 3,000.
All right, here's the engine for it.
Yep.
Look at all that prettiness. Ooh.
Ooh, we even got some inside shots.
Yeah. That's like looking up a girl's skirt.
Mm-hmm. Nice and clean.
Yep.
At least you hope.
Look at that. Port matched.
Got it on the flow bench.
And that's it.
I figured we'd have a whole bunch more after being gone for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might have been.
Well, everybody's been with family and celebrating the holidays and doing like we did. Took some time off.
Yep.
So there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so we got any other questions there? What time is it anyway? I don't even know.
We got
It is 6:42.
15 minutes. 15 minutes. Our new watcher.
Phil III's just impressed because that video with the 66 Le Mans, they called the carburetor the slobber jet.
Yeah, it was slobbering all right. It was slobbering all over itself and the windshield. Standing in the air like that.
There was one up here. I just don't know if I.
The other thing that's an advantage to the aftermarket block that I had designed into it too is the angle main caps, the angle bolt main caps. That does help pull the block together and support the block.
Old School Twisted have one.
Oh, Wayne Kelly said he's guessing 28 to 2,900 with aluminum headed Pontiac.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. Probably around 29.
He had, if you had an aluminum block, was cryogenic, would it make a difference as far as heat cycle?
Well, so I get parts cryogenic, and I think that cryogenics is probably a good idea. Don't get me wrong for an aluminum block,
LeBron
but
James does it.
For what?
His body.
No, yeah, it helps him heal. But I think that it's a good idea for aluminum, but it's a way better idea for steel and iron. And so the reason I say that is because I've talked to several different people that do the cryogenicking, and they seem to think that the aluminum doesn't benefit as much from it as like an iron or steel does. The one person I talked to said that it'd probably be okay as long as you didn't put any heat in it. And as soon as you introduce it to heat, then the cryogenics is going to go away on it. So I don't know. I was always explained to that the cryogenic process, what it does, it slows down the molecules because you're taking it down to absolute zero, and then bringing it back real slow. And whenever you start doing that and the molecules become active again, that allows them to line up negative and positive, which makes the molecular structure stronger. And I guess that's what does happen, and hence the reason why it gets stronger. But for whatever reason with aluminum, it doesn't have the same effect. Now that's what's been told to me. I don't know. I'm not a cryogenics engineer, and I don't have that equipment. I don't have the ability to test anything like that, so I don't know. I get it done because, you know, I do know that it works very well on valve springs, lifters, camshafts. We even did some bearings, which are made out of a Babbitt material, which is basically aluminum and lead, and with a steel backing. So, and that's what's in Joe Bass's engine right now. So I'm gonna be anxious to see what those look like whenever we freshen that engine again. But I honestly don't know with aluminum. I don't know. I've been told that it doesn't make that big a difference, and the reason I wanted to do it was because aluminum heads, like an Edelbrock head or any of the heads, even my heads will do it. When they're exposed to a lot of heat, like a nitrous engine, what'll happen is you know, you're losing clamping force because the aluminum starts to degrade, and when it does, you lose your clamping force from your bolts. And so anybody who runs aluminum head and nitrous, you need to retorque your heads every pass when you're racing the car, because that nitrous runs so hot that it you know, you're losing your clamping force. And I don't know if it would help with that or not. So
Those monkeys said that's because aluminum isn't magnetic.
yeah, it is not magnetic, but it still has molecules, and they still have positive and negative protons. So I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. And I ain't gonna lie and make something up because I don't know.
So my question to you for the outcome: what would you say if you had no limit for money?
Oh
No
boy!
fill.
Oh boy! You're giving me an
Yes.
open checkbook. I like
If
it.
you say you had no limit, and you say, okay, most reliable, but most say I want fast, street, track. What would you go with? Best block, but best head setup.
Well, that's a good question. I like dreaming. If I was building an engine for me and I had the open checkbook and I could afford to do everything I wanted to do to it, I would probably do a
350.
a 301.
There you go. Yeah.
With Ram Air 5 heads. No, I wouldn't do that. But anyhow, I would probably use an aluminum block because of the weight, and I would season it a couple of times and run it a couple of times and refreshen it so it would stabilize and make the power an iron block does. And preferably, I would like to do my new aluminum block I want to do because of the improvements I'm going to make to it are going to make it more stable. And then, of course, I would run a Ram Air 5 head. And I'm an NA guy. I love NA. So, but on the street, you know, you're limited RPM wise and drivability wise. So probably I would do a twin turbo on the street. That's what I would do. Or a blower. I would do a supercharger. An LSA supercharger. That would be cool. On a Ram Air 5 head. That would be badass. Really cool. Yep. But yeah, so when you give me an open checkbook, I mean, my brain just went 10 different directions. I can do a lot of things with that.
I think all our brains would do that.
Yeah. I can do all kinds of stuff.
So old school's twist. I'm gonna be taking my block in for the main studs, and was wondering, will I have to get a shorter timing chain afterwards, or will the standard length work?
Yeah, you're just gonna have to ask them how they do it. Like I said, if they do it the way we do it and take it all out of the cap, you won't have to. But if they take it out of the block and the cap, you probably will have to. So I don't know. You'd have to see what happens there. Something else too I want to talk about with the aluminum blocks too that we just experienced with Steve Lemoo's engine. We pulled out probably half of the head studs, and it pulled the threads right out of the block. So we had to helicoil a couple of them. We put thread inserts in a couple of the other ones. And then I had to get a military spec thread insert for the one center in the middle of the block. And I don't know if it's because the block's been seasoned so many times now that it's getting, you know, soft because of the heat. I don't know. All I know is we tried the our normal thread cert in there, and it pulled it right back out. So we had to pull the head back off again and drill the block again. And then I had to get a military spec insert to put in there. And John Dornbush or some of them guys that used to work with that stuff in a machine shop, they may know what I'm talking about. But this thing, it's a real thick, heavy wall thread cert that goes in there, and it's fine thread on the outside. And then it's got 4 like blades that you drive down after the insert's installed in the block. And it really strengthens it and holds it in the parent metal. But that's what we had to do this engine that we just completed with Steve Lemieux, and we were pulling our hair out. You know, I mean, it was bad. So thankfully we got it straightened out. But man, it was a bear. So if I do like I just did another block for another customer, we went ahead and just put thread inserts in all, and we didn't helicoil it. We put thread inserts in there on all the head bolt holes. That way it's done, I don't have to worry about it.
Getting Phil all riled up over the blower.
Oh, yeah?
All you gotta do is say blower and Phil's happy.
While on the street, can you imagine a 1471 with 2 big old honking Dominators on there and an aluminum 480 cubic inch engine? Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun. Especially in something lightweight. Phil was at one time thinking about one of those Fiat Topias or whatever they call it. That car weighs maybe 1,400 pounds. You put 1,500 horsepower or 1,800 horsepower in that thing and on the street, and you're just gonna spin around in circles like what is that, Tasmanian Devil?
Yep.
Well, it's like that one little car that we were watching the one time where they do wheelies, basically. What is that? Where they have 2 Hayabusa engines in the back, one for each tire, and he can tractor brake which one runs, you know. So
That's a drifter, probably. He's
it
drifting.
Is a drifter,
yeah.
but he took it to Cletus's, and I tell you what, that thing wheelies all the way around that circle track on the bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can imagine.
That would be fun. That would be fun. You're awful quiet tonight.
Well, I mean, I'm just soaking in your impressive aluminum block talk.
He's dreaming over here.
I think he's still got hangover blues from eating too much from Christmas and New Year's.
I'm just ready to go racing.
Yeah, you and me both. We just talked about that. We're gonna get. Hopefully, I'm gonna get my epoxy for the Ramier 4 heads, and we can get them fixed again, and we can get that engine back together and in the car.
Jason's over here watching commercials.
Yeah.
Well,
that comes up on here.
Yeah, I figured I'd at least give you guys the
Extra pennies?
extra pennies.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Just let her do her thing.
Do you?
We're not talking to you.
Whoa. We're going to see a cat fight here in a minute. Going to get nasty.
You're going to see a bunch of, you know how whenever you stay up real late, the TV just goes to all those lines?
Right?
That's what's going to go
I don't know if
to.
it still does that. I think the TV stays on all night now. It used to be the station would sign off.
Yeah.
No, Mandy, it's not Ken Block. I know who Ken Block is. He died.
Yeah,
he was a
unfortunately.
legend. And this is a new guy. He's from Australia.
I know who you're talking about. I've seen his
shipped
car.
his car. He actually wrecked it. They just rebuilt it. And Cletus McFarland actually had something to do with kind of help rebuilding it because it was after he visited the Freedom Factory. So.
Cool.
But
That's cool. All right,
how
guys.
soon, how soon aluminum heads? Yeah, it's getting there.
We're getting there.
Getting there.
Right now, they're making some tooling changes, and as soon as we get that done, then we're gonna hopefully get some more samples. And if everything looks good and everything works out the way I want it to, I mean, honestly, I wanted this done 10 years ago. So I don't know when it's going to be done. I feel bad telling everybody I get probably 5-6 phone calls a day, guys wanting to know about these new heads, and I don't have nothing to tell anybody. I can't tell them anything. I don't have nothing to tell them. I'm in that paint drying, watching it dry stage where nothing's happening.
Hamilton said he has hate to scrap a running engine, but I have nowhere to put it and had stroke back in May. My days of turning wrenches are over. Well,
What kind of engine is it?
350.
And where's he located at?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh, bummer.
East Tennessee.
Well, yeah, he's over there closer to Chattanooga and Memphis and all them probably. That, let's say if it's a 350 Pontiac, we can start gathering those things
Well,
because
it is a 350 Pontiac.
Because when the weather
Or
starts getting
74
better, what
DTO
we're going
heads.
to, isn't that the one we're going to start blowing up? We're going to do different nitrous things and stuff to it, see how much abuse it'll take.
You know what? And I forgot, I have a riding lawnmower in my shed. I think we might put it on that.
Yes.
I'm not riding it.
Hey, I watched two hillbillies driving a Mustang on YouTube the other day, and they had the NOS bottle not even mounted. He was in between the passenger
Oh,
legs.
good
and he
Lord.
Turned it on and set up the button, and all I seen was flames in the hood go whee,
Yep.
and they jumped out quick. So
What I'll do is we'll make it a 2-seat lawnmower then.
All right.
And Jason can hold the nitrous
Hold the
bottle.
nitrous bottle
Hey, we'll just
and hold the hose over the carburetor.
I just said I'll bring the old Harley seat, and we'll make it a Harley seat mount.
Hold on, Jason.
All right, Mandy and Jamie, I would highly recommend you buy life insurance before these clowns get on that mower.
We'll be doing donuts in the backyard. And poof.
Yep, and we're going to video it because we're going to get rich off
Yeah.
of these guys.
I'll have my yard mowed in 2 seconds.
Yeah. If you don't die. That would be wild. So, yeah. I think that's all I got to talk about tonight on the blocks. I mean,
Well,
unless
I sure
somebody's
hope
got
so.
questions. Well, hey, you know what? I got to, if they're here, I'm going to tell them about it.
Oh.
That's what they're here for, right?
Stroke at 40 was not on his bingo card for 2025. Hell no.
No,
What's that now?
Hamilton Mechanical had a stroke at 40.
that's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, so you know what? You just don't know when your number's going to be up. So you got to enjoy life every day and live it to the fullest, but not on a 2-seater lawnmower with a 350 Pontiac and nitrous.
And yes, the 350s will be at our own shop. They won't be at a remote one.
Yeah, right.
We wouldn't do that to someone else's dyno.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to, because it could hurt the dyno. We have to think about what we're going to do. That'd probably be on the chassis dyno. We got that dragster.
I know.
We can put it in the dragster.
I've been wanting to get that thing out.
Yep, we can put the engine in there.
We need to make a fogging system so we can spray bleach on the tires and I just light them up on 44.
Well, that's after we take it off the dyno. We're not doing that on the dyno.
And then
But-
that way, when the police call, I'll just leave a smoke screen and I'll be gone.
Yeah, right. This is a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
I mean, I guess that's what they want to see, but this is the grown-up cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to see the grown-ups cartoons.
That's what we need to get. We need to get you guys to say a few things of suggestions of what to do.
We've had them make some suggestions, but nothing crazy like what you guys are talking.
Hey,
You know what? I'm going to get life insurance on you guys.
We're not afraid to try anything once.
Yeah. Well, that may be all you get. You may only get once.
did we make money?
Right? We'll be smiling
Yeah.
and
It was
laughing.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Usually, whenever that happens for me, it's like hold my beer moment.
Well, yeah, it's going to be hold my crown.
You quit drinking, so it's gonna be hold your Coke.
I had one beer today.
Did you?
Yeah. First beer since Thanksgiving.
Good for you.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
He hasn't had that much beer.
Yeah.
Yep.
We gotta let him let his hair down a little bit. Yep.
Is Brandon the coyote?
Well, it depends on how fast the dragster is. If it's fast, I'm the Roadrunner, but if it's slow, well,
He ended up being a coyote on the last one because it went boom.
Yep.
He got the TNT.
Yeah, he
Yep.
did. Yep. He let the smoke out.
so this time we're building the engine to 8,000 horse or RPM. I'll promise I'll shift it at 77.
Well, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Actually, the next time I'm going to drive the car so I can find out where the RPM range is. That's why I wanted to do a burnout out here.
I'll tell you exactly where it's at.
Yeah.
All over.
Yeah.
It starts from 0 and goes up to 7.
It's till it don't go no more.
Yeah.
We found that limit. As a matter of fact, the rod's still in the race car.
Yep. So
Did we showed pictures of that too, didn't we?
I think we did, yeah.
It
Yeah.
still amazes me.
Yeah, to penetrate that thick plate steel, and then the rod's still stuck in there. Mm-hmm. How'd you guys get the engine out again? I forget.
we had to rustle it.
I know, but I mean, did you pull the oil pan off, or?
No, we got it all out.
We got it out.
Like normally would, but we had to take the engine mounts off. We had to twist the engine sideways. Jason was riding it like a bull, and we got
Brandon was up underneath pushing.
You guys should have been videotaping that. That would have been great for our channel.
Oh no, it was very frustrating.
That's why you should have been videoing it.
We
We need
probably should
content.
have had Aiden over here with the little camera trying, because I tell you what, it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I'll
We
bet.
looked like
I'll
two
bet.
little gremlins.
Yep.
Yeah, I would. There's a saying that goes around that you guys know that I'm not going to use on the air, but two monkeys doing something.
Yep. And it involves a football.
Yeah, exactly.
Brandon's max RPM is 100 before the rod came out.
Yep.
And that's giving me the benefit of the doubt. I usually say 25.
Yeah.
Being generous.
I was
Yeah.
watching the RPM gauge climb, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm going to just keep on letting it go. And then,
Yeah.
boom, I'm, damn it.
Oh,
Yeah. Do we have it on here?
Nope.
You don't have it on your.
I have to
I don't
download
have
it.
it on this phone. It's on my old phone I broke. So
Yep.
I gotta back that up. I'm pretty sure.
I thought we had it on our channel or something.
Nope.
Well, I'm gonna have to videotape that, and I'll put it on the channel. Matter of fact, I could do a short right now.
But, all right, guys. Well, it's 7 o'clock. And I think my dad got it all out of his system. So, as long as there's no more questions.
Well, next week we're gonna let you talk.
All right, perfect.
So you come up with the subject topic, and then you talk.
All right.
I'm gonna sit here and be pretty.
Well, it won't be about cars.
Yeah, that's the problem. These guys come here to learn about cars
Oh. Well,
and engines.
I'll teach them.
Yeah.
No, I have it on my old phone, so maybe I'll see if I have it.
You guys go to DCI Motorsports, have an engine built by him, rev the crap out of it, and see if it blows up.
No, that's not what we do.
Oh.
You listen to your dad, and you keep the RPMs at a safe limit, and then we don't blow them up.
Very safe is not in my dictionary.
I found that out. Well, we're going to have to find a sponsor. You keep blowing them up.
Yeah, DCI Motorsports.
No. That's who sponsored the first one. We're not doing that again.
Well,
I never blown an engine up in the 45 years I've been racing.
yeah, well, that's because you never raced hard enough.
Oh.
Wow, we got some late joiners. What
So,
are the safe RPMs? The ones that don't through.
Yeah. The right before it lets the smoke out. That's the safest.
these guys don't know how to drive cars. Fast and the Furious and Fast and the Furious 25 taught me how to drive cars. All
You
right?
have to raise
Yeah.
the floorboard up a little bit so the pedal don't go down as
Well,
far.
you know what? That's the sad part. You remember, you and I made sure that the throttle was wide open on
Yeah,
that
see, I
car.
blame you guys.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait a minute. That was the other Brandon who
was-
did that.
Is that what it was? Yeah, so what we're going to have to put is a throttle stop on him.
Yep, and I will be taking that
Either
off.
that or, you know what, I'm going to have a remote, and if I think he's over revving, I push the button.
Come on, he's like some butters on you.
I will get out.
It'll hit the rev
I will
limiter.
get out mid-track and walk back to the starting line. And
I'll
there's
hit the
gonna be a
rev
wrestling
limiter.
match.
Good. That'll definitely get video content.
Shove me down like the monster trucks. I'll be pissed.
You'll be coasting to the finish
I was like,
line.
I wasn't in any danger.
It must have been,
I was.
It must have been electrical.
Yeah, we don't know what happened. I'm not going to tell you about it. Where I could put, you know what? You remember those old Cox race cars that had the string on them, and it would pull the wire or the. How did that work? It's made it shut off. Anyhow, it would go, and then it'd go out so far, and whenever it ran out of string, pop the whatever was in that car, and it would shut it off. I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember either.
But yeah, I'm going to put one of those on the race car.
Nope, I'm taking everything off of it.
It'll pull the coil wire off. You'll be done.
You see him with this big spool, one of your 3D spools with a...
Yeah. Yeah. Big ball of yarn out there, or a big fishing reel.
So, but,
You know,
Oh, okay,
go
got
to
another newbie.
well, maybe we'll talk
welcome.
oil next week.
Yeah, we'll talk more.
He wants to know what is your go-to oil. So,
Oh, yeah. You know what? We can talk about oil next week. That'd be good. That way you guys can do a little research on it. I'll let you guys talk.
Yeah, join us next Wednesday at 6
Yep.
p.m. Eastern
So you know what
time.
I've noticed is the longer we go, the more we're getting people on here. So it's like, you know, it's like maybe we're too early. Maybe we should be doing a little bit later. What do you think? What do the guys think?
make coffee, Jamie. My
Yeah.
work's just going to start dealing with me working McGlone hours.
McGloon hours.
Show up whenever you want.
Yep.
Hey, he gets away with it.
Yep.
Yeah, we go shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can go summer racing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that costs you money.
Yes. Subscribe, like, share. Everybody that's
Yep,
been
please
on,
do.
Please
Yep.
do.
Yep.
And, you know,
And-
we have Readers Rides. We'll post up the website.
And they have to hit that bell icon, don't they, so that they get alerted when we come on the air?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So make sure and hit that bell icon.
I gotta get that fixed because my old phone, I gotta get on there so I can do it because it won't let me. It keeps on not notifying. I think that's my problem because that's why I just realized I don't have any of the pictures. Did it? I think it's my old phone.
Then why'd you
issues.
join late? Oh.
She was busy.
We're more important than what you're doing, woman. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for hanging with us. Stay safe, and we'll see you all next week.
All right. Next week, be here at 6.
Later, guys.